Oh shoot, I forgot to do this.
Okie dokie, y'all. Right now is right now, and may I be the first to say TGIF and good riddance, Rain, or at least good riddance, Debbie. Didn't like her anyway. I'm Rayford Brown,
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'll be the second to say,
and I had to turn some
wow.
speakers
What is
down.
happening?
I'll be
Wow.
the second to say good riddance, happy Friday, and I'm Lee Barrows.
And
That went right
yeah.
through my headphones.
Well, because I made a lot of arrangements and changes in here
It's
yesterday. With cleaned up the desk a little bit with all the extra wires and things that were there that did not need to be there. When we put this thing together back a couple of years ago over Christmas,
Yeah, that was
I have not fixed it like it was a temporary operation that became permanent, too permanent for
cleaned
too
out
long.
one studio and threw this one together in what
Overnight.
a day?
Overnight, yep.
That was something.
Anyway, it is Friday, and Debbie is no longer in our picture. It's moving up there towards the northeast, and just as a depression, and it's going to depress as many people up there, I'm sure, as it is around here. Except they won't have quite the massive amounts of stuff that we had, and it's moving right along. So good riddance. We don't even have to talk about it now. We'll talk about the rest of it next week.
Okay.
We will take a vacation from the
Yes.
Caribbean and the South Atlantic hurricane spawning location. But there's an X out there, and then there's a little mess out there in the Bahamas. So not forming up yet or anything, and I should not have said yet, not forming up, and there's no real indication that it will, but there's always a possibility this time of year. It's hot.
Rayford, you're such a liar.
What?
I'm just not going to say anything. It is hot out there. What's our humidity? Wait, where's our thing? Oh, there it is.
It's right up yonder.
Oh, we're still at 99% humidity.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's 73 outside.
I know. It doesn't feel like 73.
That's
It's
what is.
muggy.
Well, look down below that. What does it feel like?
That's his 82, but I question that. I think it feels a little warmer.
Well, it's thick
just-
and it feels like 82. And I heard some
feels
guy last
sticky.
night on the radio about midnight when I came down to shut stuff down. Said, "What's all this thing?" They're telling me how it feels like. Just tell me what the temperature is.
Yeah.
Is that what
But
you
the
wanna know?
temperature is not okay. Okay. Hey guys, the temperature today is 73.
right now,
But if you dress like it's 73 at this moment,
you're gonna sweat.
you're going to be sweating before you get to your car.
Dress in layers.
saying.
Yes.
Well, dressing, yeah, well, layers of nothing would be better right now
Oh.
because it ain't gonna be hot again. We're back. It's still August, folks, and this is one of the hot months. July is supposed to be the hot month, but around these parts, well, it can be miserable during the day, and towards the end of the month, it can get to be okay at nighttime. You get up and so you dress. Oh, I can wear a little bit more clothes today, and then suddenly about 9 o'clock, whoa, you got to change because you're already through. What's going on in your world? Everybody okay?
I'm good. Hopefully I get the work done inside the house today.
Oh yeah, you got a big old event, don't you?
I've got an event tomorrow, family
Mhm.
event, but still trying to get my bathrooms finished.
Oh yeah, you got them boys.
Supposed to come today and finish putting in all the new elements. But unfortunately, because of the way they cut the sheetrock's going to have to be ripped out and replaced, and that's on me
See,
Why
I'm
on
going to
you?
say it again.
because they don't do sheetrock. And they said, look, we can cut out this one piece unit, which had they cut it out, like I could have cut it out, it'd been fine. But whoever did the cutting, it's just, and
See?
look, and the wall surround unit that I had for them to put in, they put holes in it for the spigot
Yeah.
and all that. They did it on the wrong side,
Right.
wrong piece.
How-
So they had to
Idiots.
order
I-
brand new wall surround unit, and it comes out of their pocket.
Well, I'm going
Okay.
to say this. You
And
have
your bathroom.
It's still not done. It was
Oh,
supposed to have been
God.
finished Monday, but that's whatever. And if you're listening who you are, and I know you know, I want my bathroom finished.
Heck
I had
yeah.
to let
I-
Robin handle it.
I know.
'Cause I can get
help
pissy
you-
very
I can help you
quickly.
with it.
Yeah.
I won't use the bathroom right now. I
Yeah.
have the
Well,
door
this is
shut.
my mom's bathroom. Like,
Yeah.
I am not a happy camper.
See what
Well,
freaks me
imagine
out?
about her.
Well, she uses it, but we waiting on the glass shower doors.
Well, what freaks me out are the holes in where the walls cut out. I just know if I go in there just to even wash my face, some bug's going to crawl up through there and I'm going to freak out.
I'm gonna tell everybody that's listening. I have seen the photos of Lee's
Oh, yeah, you did.
this company, and I'm gonna say this, Lee, you are far better than I am, and I will go on air as admitting this. If y'all could see the mess they have left her bathroom in. And I know they claim they don't do drywall, but I am here to promise you, you need to make them fix that
They can hire
drywall.
somebody
Well,
to
Yes,
do it.
they need to pay
Fortunately-
for this.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I know how to do it
But
myself.
it doesn't matter that
Yeah.
you know how. There's a whole lot I know how to do.
And
But if you're paying somebody to do it, that is their job. If they can't do their job,
see,
then they
if,
don't need to be
if
doing
they
it.
had just cut around, I know they had to cut the unit out because back in the day when they built these houses, they put one piece units in. Stupid. That's all I got to say.
Well, that's
So
the way
they
it was
had it-
always done.
yeah.
And they did it before the walls were up.
Yeah, but it's stupid because we had to completely cut out the unit to get to the pipes
Yep.
to replace the diverters
Right.
for both bathrooms.
But you can't tell me these bumbling boobs, and that's what they are. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell everybody I know not to ever use that company you use. I'm saying that right now. And one day I will get those pictures from you, and I'm gonna post them so everybody can see who not to use. 'Cause y'all need to see this hot mess
Wait
she's
till
got
it's
going on.
done. Yeah.
But you
Yes.
should not have to do it. It's their mess up.
See,
not
this should have been
yours.
done 2 weeks ago, and I've had to wait because they had to order what I had already paid for, and they had to wait for that to come in. So,
Well, I encountered that kind of thing, but that it looks like my 10-year-old grandson went in there and cut your
well,
drywall.
first of all, you don't use a sawzall to cut the sheetrock.
I'm idiot. And these what is scary is these people are actually working in people's bathrooms.
Well, I don't know if they get the shower all fixed and running today.
They
They're just going to take bags or something and tape up over the holes. So I can at least use the bath. I'm not going in there because if one of those water bugs crawls out of the wall, I'm burning the house down.
Go ahead.
telling you.
or a snake trying to get out of the
Stop,
water.
Kelly,
I'm
you're
just
not-
saying.
I'm on concrete though.
Well, here's the
look,
other
they
thing
can
you can
find a
do with
way.
those holes in the wall right now in that little unit. You can tape them up if you want to. That'll be okay. But I would go ahead and spray some stuff in there. This real bug spray.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a good idea.
Just spray it down in there and
Oh,
just
I'm
let it
gonna
sit
do
there
that.
and then seal it up. You won't have any problem.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
get
going to
some
do that.
Killer raid.
As soon as I get finished redoing it today.
Well,
See, y'all could just take a pause. And
Well, the
ask me
thing
for
about it
advice,
is
and I'd be
now-
glad to help
well, you were great on the Tilex thing.
See,
See, the
that's-
thing with the
that's
wall
We
two
talked about
surround,
that yesterday.
yeah, that was smart. The
That's
wall
right.
surround comes in 3 pieces. Now, if in the future, if there's a plumbing issue, you can just take off the piece you need to take off, fix the plumbing, put the piece back
Mhm.
instead of having to rip out everything in the house.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm becoming convinced based on your photos that these people will legitimately do not know what they're doing.
Well,
And
it
that's a
was
scary
just-
thought, 'cause
How
I
many
know
of
this
these
is-
did you get references?
I called several companies, and
No.
Did you get references from
Yes.
from customers?
well,
No,
people.
she didn't.
No, I did. I did.
Well, then somebody
And
lied, or this their
The
friend.
company that I normally use that I just love, when they sent a guy out to the house to give me an estimate, his attitude was so bad.
See, that'll make me not use somebody right
And
there.
had
Yeah.
he done what he said he needed to do, I would have had to replace 2 units instead of 1,
Ah, I got you.
which that other unit shouldn't have had. It's a long story. But anyway,
should have called me.
it's
first.
all- it's
I
all
got-
gonna
I
be-
got on speed dial.
well,
I got.
yeah, I should have. You want to come over and do sheetrock?
Me? No, I don't do.
I'm
sheetrock.
these people should be
I can
having
do
to do it. Telling you.
Yeah, well, maybe I get a little bit knocked off the bill, huh?
Oh no, you haven't paid them yet? You take it off.
Only
whatever-
half.
You
I
take
wouldn't
off.
pay 'em.
You take
Yeah.
off what you think it will cost. To get
I
that
would,
fixed.
and I would flat out tell them and dare them
explain
to
it to
complain.
and then let them take you to court. Then
What's
you take
labor an hour
it-
now?
And then you. That depends on where you go.
Yeah.
McDonald's $15 an hour.
Yeah.
I have
Okay,
faith
yeah.
it's all going to work out.
All right, guys, y'all with us this morning? You can join the conversation. I dare you.
We
I
need
challenge,
help.
I challenge you to join the conversation this morning. And some of you are laughing already.
Well, I don't feel as bad though, because Kelly, your bathroom's been what, 6 months in the works?
Since April.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
See,
Oh
Mhm.
wow!
it's not like it used to
Oh
be.
wow!
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Her
knocking
situation's
the
worse
windows
than
over.
mine.
It's just now we're just waiting on one thing to be fixed: the shower doors. Which, to be fair,
There's
was
always one.
well, the
thing to
shower
be
doors
fixed.
was a delay in Home Depot's or Lowe's, whichever one it was. Wasn't the contractor's issue. Was not the shower doors.
Uh-huh.
Well, now they're in, and they still haven't been put in. So now it is his issue.
Well, he may have everything else.
Well, he was
scheduled
supposed to have been here Monday.
Uh-huh,
This
but
is Friday.
maybe there was, an emergency, like
I'm-
a hurricane.
No, I'm I'm
Too
not gonna
much
say
water?
nothing.
What's
No.
indoor work though?
It's indoor work,
Yeah,
Rayford.
but maybe he had some other stuff to do. Maybe some emergencies out
Kelly,
there.
Don't.
we're just going to start letting Rayford set up all of the work that we need to do.
And I'm gonna let
well,
Rayford
we can
when
yell
I
at
fill
him.
him in on what I've gone through on why we're at August and my bathroom still ain't done, and you'll see why I don't buy that argument.
Got any room inside the walls there before you put everything back together?
What?
You could leave people there.
Oh.
Then they'd be tapping to get out and disturbing
No, they
my
wouldn't.
peace.
Oh.
Okay. Y'all want to chat with us this morning? Go ahead and
Oh,
ring
yeah.
us up. Not by telephone. You got to ring us up by sending an email. You have two choices, two
Can I
ways.
open it?
Email to Lee C. Barrows. That's Lee C. Barrows, Barrows, at gmail.com. Or you can send a message to our Facebook page, Facebook Messenger. You can post it up there on the comments if you want, but your name and number will be out there for everyone to see. If you don't care, fine. Just don't put for a good time on there in front of it.
Oh.
Just, you can send a message
Well,
and
you can.
give us your name and your telephone number. If you want to say what it's about, go ahead and do so. I will call you back. And today and today only, there will be a number that's attached to that caller ID that should come down when I call you from our Skype. But that's only a temporary situation. I'm working on something else. And then in the near future, we're on step one right now. We're just waiting for a device to be returned to us. And then we will be
That
back
looks
up
good,
and
though.
running.
You did. Rayford did a lot of work in the studio yesterday.
Most of it electrical. So,
And anybody listening on Facebook in the comments, just let us know how does it sound?
I hope it sounds okay. Let me see what it sounds like. It sounds like here. Oh, it's a
Right.
little bit low, though. At
Mhm.
least I think it is. So y'all let me know if the levels are good. We tested yesterday with the station. They said it was good, so we'll go with that for the
Good.
time being.
Good.
And on Facebook, we have no way of looking because they took stuff down again. They modified the way things look, and we cannot see it.
YouTube shows it, but Facebook, they keep making changes.
If they don't quit making those changes, I don't know what we'll do. But anyway, you can send messages and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about and all that sort of good stuff. How many times have you been advised not to drink the water when you vacation in Mexico?
I've always heard that.
You've heard that?
I've never been to Mexico, but I've always heard that.
Back in the day, that was a thing because so many people had intestinal issues from tainted water.
It's still a thing.
Even ice cubes made with local water was an issue as it melted into your sweet tea or your adult beverage. Pretty sure most of that is not that big a deal anymore, but some of it apparently is. But a couple college kids from the United States found themselves immersed in a nightmare when they ordered water. Just ordered water at a bar. The two say they were treated for poisoning after ordering water at a poolside bar in Cancun. Zara Hull and Kaylee Pitts said they became unconscious after drinking the tainted water back on the 1st of August. Both girls collapsed at the same time within moments of each other of drinking the water. They took a sip or two and they passed out.
Ugh.
One of the girls was in pretty bad shape and was taken to a hospital. The medical facility there, you get this now? Take money, folks. The medical facility would not treat them without getting paid $10,000 up front.
Oh, that's BS.
To continue treatment, the hospital demanded even more money. Both girls, with the help of one of their boyfriends, managed to get out of the area, and with the help of the local consulate, managed to get back into the United States. The names of the resort and the hospital were not released, not yet, but the girls' parents are involved, and so are the girls' lawyers.
Good
The
for
girls'
them.
parents' lawyers.
Okay.
And good luck. You're in Mexico. You're south of the border.
Well, this is why I wouldn't go to Mexico.
That's one.
Two, I wouldn't let my kids go to Mexico.
There are predators everywhere.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I've been to
But
Mexico, and Mexico is
we
just,
hear a lot about that in Mexico.
recently. Look at how many. I mean, in the past 4 or 5 months.
There-
I wouldn't
There are
go.
situations.
Yeah, there's like a lot, but I have gotten sick from the water in Mexico before, and I'm telling you what, it's
Yeah,
gross. And that was 1990.
But
That was a long time
you
ago.
get sick from the water in
Back then, I
North
didn't.
Carolina.
I don't like the North Carolina water, but yeah. So
Well, maybe West Coast.
But I wouldn't go to Mexico now.
Mm.
Why would you want to? That's like a gamble with your life. Let me see if my
Yeah,
insurance
it should
policy
be
is
on
good.
the do not travel.
I think there's a warning for travel to
There's
Mexico.
generally a warning.
Yeah.
Because
Right. See
they
who's on there.
actually, Cancun, at the resorts in Cancun, until I heard about this one, the resorts in Cancun, that was always kind of like, okay, as long as you stay inside the resorts.
But now,
That's
not.
what a lot of people were always saying. Do not leave the resort. And because after you leave Cancun
Mhm.
and you leave the resorts
You're
on
in
some
the
of those
Badlands.
tourist buses
Yeah.
or whatever, even the tour buses
Have
were
gotten
being
robbed.
robbed. You've got to be kidding me. Somebody's in cahoots with somebody else.
But they've even recently, in the past 6 months, gotten into issues on the resort in Cancun.
Well, that was
Maybe-
there.
Yeah.
That was this case
No,
too.
yeah. So I mean, but there's been others in the past couple months. I mean, if my youngest daughter is 27, if she told me she was going to Cancun or Mexico, I would forbid it and fight her. I mean, seriously,
Uh-huh.
these parents need to tell these college kids, look, I know y'all going because it's cheap and you can drink and do whatever you do. Find another place to go
Mhm.
because it's not safe.
Totally agree.
Yeah,
There's a lot of them here.
And if you got, and if it's a single female
yeah.
traveling all alone, not even, and even if she travels with a group,
Hmm.
I'm gonna warn you one more time: stay with your dang group. Do
Yeah.
not break off
Mhm.
with a group because there's some dude there.
Yeah. Yes, I
No,
agree.
no, it's not a romantic getaway. It's a killer getaway, and we've got cases. We've got the infamous case, the
Mhm.
Natalie Holloway case. Never
Oh,
forget that one.
yes.
20 years ago, it's been 20 years now.
Wow.
So anyway, all of that's going on.
She'd be a mother, have children.
Yeah, let's take a break. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME. Give us a call. Don't call us. Give us a message, uh, email, or Facebook Messenger. So we want to hear from you today. We want to know what's on your mind. You send us a message, tell us to call, give us the right number, and we'll call you. How's that? You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME. Severe weather outlook. Tip of the day is brought to you by John Stars Electric right here in Jacksonville. Had a chat with John and Ethan Starzinski yesterday by there, and I just wanted to talk with them for a couple of minutes and, got a lot of information. They want me to remind you that the 2024 hurricane season is barely 2 months old. Yep. That means 4 more months to go. 120 long days. A couple of areas of concern in the Atlantic today. Too early to discuss them in detail, but definitely not too early to talk about issues that happened during our most recent visitor, Tropical Storm Debbie. Even though the cyclone was a minimal storm in the wind category, it certainly caused a lot of damage that is still happening from Florida through North Carolina. Yeah, the gift that keeps on giving. And Debbie, as a rain dropping depression, is still moving into the northeastern part of the country. I touched base with Steve Goodson yesterday with Jones Onslow EMC. He said they fared pretty well as far as power outages go until Thursday morning on Western Boulevard. A couple of apartment complexes experienced a loss of power due to Mother Nature and Debbie. It took a bit longer to make the repairs because of the location of power lines right through a big old swampy area. Heavy rains made it impossible for the trucks to get close to the power lines. Therefore, the crews had to climb each pole and repair the lines individually, a process that took several hours, many times longer than it normally takes. Luckily, the poles themselves were not damaged and did not have to be replaced. They just had to, all the superstructure on top of the poles had to be repaired.
God.
As we saw in other parts of the state where tornadoes touched down, electrical service went out. It could have happened here. It might be us the next time around. One option we have, though, a Generac standby generator. The folks at John Stars Electric have been installing generators left and right in the area, and there are more people out there who want to lights go out. It will take a certain amount of time to get the site surveys, permitting, working with the power company, and arranging service with a propane dealer. That doesn't include all of the electrical work itself. As I've told folks many times, the sooner you get started with the process, the sooner you will be experiencing the same peace of mind that I have during this storm and for any future events that occur. And those future events, y'all, it can happen with a car leaving the road down the street from you. Hit a power line, power goes out, transformers are knocked out, things happen. We've still got a lot of hot water ahead of us. Transformers can get overheated. And after they've been up for years and years and years, and they get a bit overheated because so many people are using electricity, they can just quit. They go boom, oil shoots out. Sometimes they actually catch on fire if there's an issue. Then you're going to be without power. Beautiful weather, just without power. Give the team at John Stars Electric a call. Experience the same peace of mind that my wife and I have. 910-989-1908. You definitely will be glad you did. Don't go too far. We'll be right back with your weekend weather forecast after these messages. Stay tuned. Well, we weathered another storm. Hopefully, you were not too stressed during that, and you'll be able to get back to some degree of normalcy, if that's a word. Some folks, perhaps getting in age, like me, maybe living alone, not like me, with no relatives anywhere nearby. Imagine yourself in that situation. It's got to be stressful. Luckily, Debbie was not too much that we couldn't endure it. Imagine, though, knowing that another storm or other storms can form and head our way at any time. Even if we experience minor inconveniences this time around, what about the next one? All alone, imagine the stress that you would go through. If you are one of those or you know of someone in that predicament, you might want to help yourself or a friend with stress issues. There's no shame in admitting it. A lot of people feel that way, right, Kelly? They just don't want to let everybody know you're stressed out here.
Yeah.
Huh. There's those people out there that I don't get stressed out like a lot of people do. I get stressed out about other things. They may be in denial. There are professional folks out there who can help us learn to work with the issues. At Community Prevention Services, the counselors are trained and they actually care about their clients. While no one can cure all of the stress in the world, they can help you work through it. They can help you work through it. They can't do it for you. They'll just help you. The reason that a lot of people refuse to leave homes, even when mandatory evacuation orders are issued, is because they're afraid. They get stressed out that they will have nothing to come home to after the storm. They won't be able to get here. Talking with counselors who are trained to work with your issues gives you an opportunity to look at options. Call the great folks over there at Community Prevention Services. They seriously want to help you. 910-353-0972. Again, without a frog, that's 910-553-0972. They'll set up an appointment so you can get started feeling more secure. Offshore, Debbie may be gone, but her impact is still hounding us. Small craft advisory is in effect through Saturday morning. The rivers out there, while they're calming down, they're full of stuff, limbs. I saw that on some national news yesterday. Southerly winds today, 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 this afternoon. Gusts up to 30 knots, seas 7 to 9 feet. Don't rush it. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy this afternoon. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 5. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Sunday, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, seas 2 to 3. Sounds and rivers a light chop.
Today, showers and thunderstorms mainly after 1 p.m. And of course, some of the storms could produce very heavy rainfall.
Again,
Yeah, in between all this, mostly cloudy, high of 85, with winds 14 miles, gusts as high as 21 miles an hour. And we could expect up to an inch today. Tonight, more of the same, showers and thunderstorms likely. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, a low of 75, with up to 3/4 of inch of rain tonight. And we're at 60% tonight, same as today. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high of 87, 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms with about 3/4 of an inch if we get rain. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, low of 75, very little chance, 30% on tomorrow night. However, Sunday, showers and thunderstorms mainly after 2 p.m., otherwise mostly cloudy, high of 87, and 70% chance of rain and up to a half an inch to possibly an inch. So it looks like it's just going to be a meh weekend.
yeah, it is. It. No doubt, it'll get over just in time for something else to happen. But it is. When do the dog days of summer? Time in August, I know.
Was it August? I always thought it was
I
September.
always
I don't
like
even know.
April
September.
30th
I
through
don't know.
November 30th.
Yeah. Rayford, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
When you were a teenage boy, did you carry around tampons or pads so you'd be king stud?
Did I carry what?
What?
Tampons or pads around for girls so you'd be labeled as
I
king
didn't even
stud.
know what they were.
Okay. Well, in the big brouhaha over Tim Waltz putting tampons and pads in the male bathroom, some journalist has said the reason he did that is because it would make him like king stud. So all the girl he could just hand one to some girl if she needed one. I mean, what's that?
What girl is going to go tell him she needs one?
Exactly. A teenage girl is not going to tell some boy. They may tell her boyfriend, and that's a huge big may.
May.
But they won't even tell their dads. I mean, come on now. And I mean, but this is what this journalist who works for the Washington Post, well, why am I not surprised by that right there? that she's saying that this is why he did that, because he did it so boys could be king studs. This is what she literally has said.
Yeah.
That's her opinion, right?
That's her opinion.
Okay.
Yes, her opinion is that this is why he did it.
What made her a journalist? That you just said she was a
She
journalist.
just said, "I want to be one."
She's self-proclaimed,
Um,
right? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I
and
think
she
that.
she
I don't
said
know why he did
she
it. but
claims that boys carrying these items will be drowning in prom. And no one to get the butt beat by their fellow classmates,
Mm.
and the girls are not. I mean, this is fantasy, and I hope that people have more sense. This is fantasy world stuff.
Yeah, La La Land, y'all.
I mean, it is sad and
the world
scary.
we live in now is crazy.
Yeah,
Okay, so you asked me a question, so I'm going to ask y'all a question
Do it.
individually. Who's running for president of the United States? Lee? Who's running for president? Quickly, don't. Wait.
Trump and and Pelosi.
it is. You better.
Sorry.
Trump and Harris.
You wouldn't know it.
I know.
I know.
All I think
I know what you're about to say. I agree with you. I said it yesterday.
y'all is ain't J.D. Vance and it ain't Governor Tim Walz.
hmm
Those guys are running.
But they're
as,
running
Yes.
the spotlight.
They're
And this
running.
is
That's
what
right.
I said.
They're
And
running as tag along.
yeah,
They're
Right.
VP candidates.
but they're overshadowing the main candidate. I told you.
They are.
Yeah.
For the record, Kamala Harris is a Democrat, the current vice president of the
Mhm.
United States,
Mhm.
having been selected now by the President Biden as his VP back in 2020. I bet she's saying, "Good God, did I make that mistake?" She's also a former prosecutor in California, a bit of a controversial figure in that role, and she spent 4 years of her 6-year elected term as a senator. Harris picked a guy this week that I'm sure is going to come under a lot more heat.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's true or not, critics are claiming that Governor Walz has claimed that he was the combat sergeant major of his National Guard unit. During one stint in the Guard, there was no one holding that rank in his unit, and he was assigned to handle the requirements of a combat sergeant major. In combat, when everybody above you gets killed, all the officers and everybody above your rank of PFC gets killed, guess who's in charge? That doesn't make you a lieutenant. For the record, when Walz left the National Guard, his rank was indeed listed even when he left as Command Sergeant Major. It got changed after his separation, after he left, to Master Sergeant, which was his real rank,
Right.
when it was revealed that he had not completed all of the requirements to hold the rank before he retired. He failed to do some classes and failed to do this or failed to
Right.
do that. Whatever it was, don't care. One of those leading the charge claiming Walz is now guilty of stolen valor, something service members take seriously, is Marine veteran and current U.S. Senator J.D. Vance. Vance is Trump's pick to run alongside him as his VP. Vance accused Walz of having dropped out of the National Guard just in the nick of time to avoid serving in the Iraq War. The Minnesota, we do all sides now. Don't get your stuff in a wad. The Minnesota National Guard said that Walz's unit was not even given deployment orders to Iraq until July of 2005, and that Walz had submitted retirement papers this is a quote, 5 to 7 months prior to his retirement in May. Okay, all well and good. I would question that statement. Why? A Guard spokesman saying that Walz submitted his retirement papers with a vague answer like 5 to 7 months prior to the retirement. The military is a lot more specific when they go back and look at records than 5 to 7 months. It's right there in front of them. They've got the records. They've got the letter of I'm going to retire in May right in front of them. Let's see the letter. Let's see the date on it.
Mm-hmm.
Just me. I don't know. Maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe he just doesn't know. I'm not accusing. I'm just saying it. I can understand Vance's reaction though when Walz has expressed an anti-gun agenda. See, this goes hand in hand with what's going on coming from Vance. Walz's words, quote, "We should not allow weapons that I used in war to be on America's streets." Okay, here's the problem.
I saw the video, and that's what he said.
Walls did not go to war.
That's right.
Never in a combat zone.
Right.
Did not carry any kind of gun in war. And that ticked off Vance, and good for good reason. It
I
ticks
agree
me,
with that,
it ticks me off royally.
Mm-hmm.
We, no doubt, will learn a lot more about both Vance and Walls, as they seem to be, at least in the beginning, getting a lot of criticism. Should be interesting, especially when you consider that the choice of vice presidents for either party will not sway voters one way or the other in a campaign. Yeah, they are but a heartbeat away from taking over in the case of a problem with the president. Not many of you even remember, not most of you in this community were not even born the last time such an event occurred. I was, and I remember. Do you remember the last time that a VP take over for the president?
No, that was when Reagan got shot.
The VP did not take over.
Didn't he take over while he was in the
He
hospital?
was available.
But
But he did not
I
take
thought
over.
you're right. They didn't swear him in. We're going way back. Well,
Woodrow Wilson, I'm guessing. I'm throwing out
when
names now.
JFK passed away.
Right, that's
Right,
one, but
okay.
that's not the most recent one.
Wait, there's been one since then? When Nixon resigned?
Yeah.
Okay.
that's right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had to think about that for a
When
minute.
Nixon
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
forced to resign
Mhm.
before he could be impeached,
Yeah.
Right.
Gerald Ford took over.
Yeah. I
That's
forgot
of
about
course-
that, but
and then,
yeah.
of course, when Kennedy got shot back
Yeah.
in 1963, the VP took over.
Mhm.
So, yes, it can happen. Do we think of that? We talk about it. Do we even think of that? Do we consider that as even a possibility
You mean right now?
when we're thinking about who's
Oh.
going to be president? Or do we really care who the VP's going to be? This is a lot
I
of
think-
much ado about nothing, people.
It
I
is.
think to a degree you probably should care a little bit.
Oh, you should care.
because if
they
something
do
happens
other-
to your candidate, then
Yeah,
yeah,
but
but also
that's
they
not-
do VP things.
That's the other
Yeah.
thing, because
Yeah.
the vice president is the president of the Senate,
Yeah.
in charge of
People
the
don't. I don't
Senate.
think people
No, they
understand
don't
that.
understand that. That's
Yeah.
the most significant
Uh-uh.
duty that they have.
Mhm. Can you imagine? Oh my lord!
Yes, I know.
This
All of
guy
the
being-
above. It's bad enough that Harris has been the president of the Senate. Oh my Lord.
Well,
help us.
luckily, much because she hasn't done much there either, other
No.
than 1 or 2 votes she broke the tie for.
Yeah,
But other than that, she's done just she's kept her record of nothingness consistent.
pretty much.
I mean, you know.
Let's take a break. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME. We'll take a break so that I can figure out what in the Sam Hill Lee just said, for. That's like I heard it from my dentist one time when he was working on me, and I said, don't ever do that again. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back live in local Real Talk, and we made some changes in the studio yesterday. All with our audio, and
Right.
one of the things that we had audio stuff about. We're getting a couple of calls who said they can't hear the commercials on YouTube or Facebook. I guess this morning it's
Right.
okay right now. We're here to do other stuff, so.
We'll figure it
Well,
out, guys.
we may or may not put them back. I can put them back and it's, plug in a wire, but I didn't want to do that.
You saw this new equipment over here. It's snazzy.
Yeah, well, we got stuff here and we got some things that we're
Yeah.
working on, and so hopefully we'll get all of everything straightened out. And as soon as our two little interface boxes come back in here, we should be okay.
Right. It'll be fine. We're good.
We've supposedly, the United States being we, have sent word to Iran that if Iranian forces launch any sort of attack on Israel, it will face consequences from the United States. So for me, I said, what kind of consequences? I had to look for it. I'm sure you're asking the same thing. What kind of consequences could we use against Iran in case they do attack any kind of way Israel? According to news reports, few and far between, Iran will suffer serious economic problems, maybe even some sanctions against the Iranian government from the United States. How? Does Iran depend on the U.S. for anything that it can't get from Russia, China, or North Korea? What do they depend on us for? They got plenty of sand, they got plenty of oil available, right? Sounds more like a political bluff from our Washington leaders. Something that's pretty much what Iran's probably saying as well. Along comes another U.S. official who told a reporter that the United States has warned Iran that the risk of a major escalation is extremely high if it carries out a retaliatory attack. No mention in that threat of U.S. military involvement, just that Iran's economy would be impacted. And Ayatollah, he sat back saying, so what? He's smirking. You've seen pictures of him? He sits back and he smirks a lot. Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in Tehran last month, an embarrassment to Iran, of course, no doubt. Israel was immediately blamed for the assassination after pledging to kill this dude and other Hamas leaders over the terrorist group's attack on October 7th last year. Israel was attacked in their country. 1,200 people were killed immediately. Hundreds more were taken hostage, and we don't know how many of those were killed. You can rest assured the majority. Haniyeh had been in Tehran for the swearing-in ceremony of Iran's newly elected president. Whoops. Perfect timing. Why would you, knowing you were on the Israeli forces, why would you think it would be a good idea to publicly go out there and say, okay, I'm the leader. I'm the one that led that whole attack on Israel. I'm the one that killed all those people. I had them killed. Why would you think it's a good idea to be out there in public and announce it?
I wouldn't think it would be good.
I mean, you don't get to be smart, apparently, just because you're the leader of a terrorist organization or the mastermind behind the plot. I don't know. California cops did something good. The guy that's
To wash your patrol cars?
a guy that is listed as a serial rapist, we'll question that. Accused of raping 2 women at gunpoint nearly 35 years ago, led California cops in LA County on a car chase Thursday before being taken into custody. Stephen Paul Gale, who's now 71, was driving a Lincoln SUV while trying to get away from authorities before he finally surrendered. Didn't want to hurt his car, I guess. Gale was identified and charged with 4 counts of aggravated rape, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 1 count of armed robbery of 2 women at a convenience store in Massachusetts near Boston back in 1989. He lived in several other states since then, used a bunch of aliases, and previously had ties to organized crime. But cops have been looking for him for 35 years. About 20
35
years ago or
years.
so, doing some DNA retesting of evidence and whatever, which the law enforcement does a lot of these days. They've got evidence left over from an unsolved crime 35 years ago, and they start running tests on the evidence they've got now because they got new DNA testing procedures, and the stuff is very efficient, very good. And so he got identified, and they've been looking for him since then.
35 years.
35 years. And they got him charged, well, they got him listed as being a serial rapist. He's charged with raping 2 women. They were in a convenience store, and he walked in, forced them into the back rooms, 2 different rooms, assaulted them, raped them, and then got away.
Wow.
His ties to organized crime, the mob, at the time probably helped him stay undercover, under wraps for so long. Wouldn't it be great if all of the evidence from all of the unsolved rapes in this country
All tied back to him?
could could be run or would be run
Right.
against with DNA samples today? Take it today and just
Yes,
do
of
it.
course.
Because bad guys today, they get when they get charged with events like that and they go to prison, there's DNA evidence there. There's samples there. Some people say that's just not right. Well, if it's right that if a gun is used, if my gun is used in a crime,
Mhm.
they save the bullet, and
Right.
they file it,
Right.
they
Yeah.
keep records of it. What's
True.
the difference? I got no problem with them running old DNA evidence, old evidence through rape crimes and whatever, running it through today's examination process. Random sampling of children for either fingerprints or DNA, no. Random samplings of everybody who wants to get a driver's license or every gun that is sold, that's just fishing. It also would clog the system because, the vast majority of the guns in this country will never be used in the commission of a crime. There are millions of guns in this country, hundreds of millions, a couple 100 million. How many of those guns are actually ever used in a crime? Not many. But folks, if you are a gun owner and you're worried about the future of your gun at some point in time, I would go out to a range where they got a water barrel, or you can go find a water drum and shoot into the water. The bullet will not be impacted. It will stay intact. And take that bullet and record that along with the serial number of your gun and a description of your gun and put it in a safe somewhere. So just in case at some point in time in the future, you report your gun stolen, that's when I would give it to the cops, because then they could trace any time a bullet is recovered from a crime scene. They could run it against that database, and you might even get your gun back. How's that sound?
I wouldn't like that.
You wouldn't like it?
I mean, I wouldn't like not getting my gun back.
Well, they'll give you your gun back under those conditions. We'll take a break again. Where are the callers? I assume Tim is able to hear us now down in Brunswick County.
Yes.
I got to.
Yeah, I think it was just during the commercials because
Yeah.
I reached out to one of our other listeners and he said he could hear us. There's just commercials he didn't. So that told us what we needed to know.
I'll
So
see.
we're good.
I'll discuss it after the show and see if that's what we want to do again.
Right.
But the one thing that'll be missing also is Fox News, so I don't like that. So we'll have to figure out something. Well, I'll get it done. We'll get it done.
Yeah, that's
we'll
right.
get it
Fox
done.
News.
So we'll take a quick break right now. I'll just have to find another source for it.
Well, we're going to talk about some spending when we come back.
Oh, you're gonna give me some money?
No, I'm going to tell you how.
You are.
Where
'Cause you're
you need to
paying
go.
tax- you're
I'm
paying
going
tax
to give
dollars.
you somebody you need to work for, apparently.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
reading this great story about Camping World in
Oh, I was
California.
just reading
I
that. that. Yeah.
But you know
Kudos to
what?
them.
That's not the first time. They have battled a lot of people over their
I
flag.
don't even own a camper, and I like Camping World.
I
I've
like
always liked
driving
them.
by it.
My
They-
dad.
I
was a
They got one
love-
down in
camper.
South
Yeah.
Carolina.
Yes, well, they have one in
They have
North
one
Carolina, too.
Yeah.
And that is a sight to drive by there and see that huge
Oh,
American
yeah.
flag.
Love it.
Kudos to
Love it.
Camping
Go
World.
for it. You're live and
Yep.
local. Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME will be right back. Okay, Dickie, we're back. And yeah, I think I just, in my head, talking to myself because nobody in here was listening, which is kind of like the way it normally goes. Y'all don't listen to me when I'm thinking out loud, do you? Nope.
I know what some
No.
of the things you think. So,
I was thinking about how to correct this
oh, I'm
issue
glad
with-
you weren't thinking about some crazy joke to tell us off the air. So,
Oh, I got some of those too.
no, we're not doing that today.
You are
Yeah.
full of jokes.
No, actually,
He's
what I
full
was
of
doing,
a lot. Yeah.
actually, what I was doing, in addition to figuring a way to put the all of the commercials and everything else back when we're taking a break.
Correct. Yeah.
I've got a way to do it. I just didn't want to do it so that when we inadvertently, like I do from time to time, push a button,
Right.
and then everybody on Facebook
Y'all
gets
hear,
to hear
what
us
we talk about.
when we're not on the air.
I agree with that statement, Ray. Y'all just don't know some of the stuff we talk
Yeah,
about.
because
Yeah.
we've been known to
FCC
do
would
that.
shut us down. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Woo.
Anyway, I think I've got a way. I just got to put a little piece of, I'll do it, handle it. But what I was also thinking about while I was thinking about that, this is what confuses me. I need some help, Kelly.
All right.
I was already planning on how I was going to spend all that money. You were telling me that I was going to be able to go out there and make.
Let me tell
See,
you,
I remembered what you said.
you need to move to Illinois
No, I forget about it.
because you need to go move to that village of Dalton. Where remember the story we talked about, that mayor that went on that crazy. People were complaining about her spending and
Yeah.
And then
Yes,
former
yes.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was
Yep.
hired to investigate. Well, let me tell you, she investigated and she issued a report. And oh my goodness,
Bad, huh?
the townsfolk, because only like 20,000 people in this town, they are. I just have a vision of pitchforks and torches because
Ooh.
they are angry,
Ooh.
and I don't blame them. If
Burn
I
'em
lived
at
in
the
that
stake?
town, if I lived in this town, I would be furious. So the town, this 20,000 population town, is in a spending deficit. Are you ready?
I'm sure.
3.6 million due to the mayor's spending habits. Her name is Tiffany Hanyard. So they had a meeting, a special meeting this week to talk about this. Okay. Some of the stuff she's spending on to include overtime for police staff. Okay. You're going to love this too. Well, let me back up. Okay. In 2023, so last fiscal year, one officer made $108,000 in overtime alone. And that's more than his salary.
Oh, I'm sure.
And $114,000 so far in fiscal year 24. His regular pay in 2023 was $72,000. Then for this year, he got a raise to $87,000. Another officer in 2023 got $87,000 in overtime.
What kind of overtime can they get, and what for?
And $102,000 so far this year. Now remember, we're in August.
Were they like paid because they had a short staff and they were-
Right. I doesn't say because his regular pay was 55,000 in 23, and he got bumped up to 73,000
Huh.
so far for
that's
this
a
year.
heck of a raise.
Yeah.
in 1 year.
The police chief who got fired this week, by the way.
Oh shoot.
So according to them, he made a killing. He was 39,000 in overtime in 2022. 67.
Well, no. It's staff. The chief.
The chief got overtime.
They're not
Rayford.
supposed to get
Well,
overtime.
I
Management
feel your
doesn't get
pain.
overtime.
Well, he did.
No.
He got 39,000 in 2022. He got 67,000 last year in 2023. And so far this year, remember what month we're in, okay?
Yeah.
He has got 96,000. It gets better. The fiscal year began May 1st. He's already gotten 12,000 in overtime since May 1st. We're in August.
Doing what?
Don't know. And that's on top of what they haven't even said what this guy's salary is, but they fired him this week. He's fired.
Okay, so but how did I mean?
This
so
is the
they
mayor
did
was
it, but
spending.
was the mayor?
She was one giving it and spending. She was been on just it gets better.
Well, I mean, I understand, but she's at the top of the food chain. But was she even aware of it?
Yes, she was paying them.
Why? Well, she doesn't pay them. The
Well, she
city
was
council pays them.
Well,
Or the
apparently,
manager pays them.
apparently she had a credit card, and among other things, I'm getting to that in a minute. She was doing this. This is mainly her. In
So-
January,
So you're saying to me there's an opening there, right?
it gets better.
I'm on the way.
You need to come work for her because
Just for a year.
in January, on one day, January, I think it said 23rd, but I'm not positive about the date. She spent $40,000 on Amazon in one day.
Wow.
And they're saying
Don't tell Robbie she will want that job.
one of the townspeople said, "What could you possibly spend in one day on Amazon for 40,000?" Yeah,
Well, I
But
could,
she-
but
you
it
know-
would be special stuff.
the
Shoes?
yeah.
Don't tell me it was shoes.
They don't know what the specific purchases are because Lightfoot said this is on the preliminary investigation. They're looking for receipts. It gets better. Back in May, this mayor said you will not get paid if you come in to investigate us. But the village board overrode the veto and said we will pay you. FBI is now
Oh, yeah, I
investigating,
bet they are.
but they haven't said who they're
She
investigating.
needs to go to prison.
They are $6 million in owed to the town, like businesses and stuff for, I don't know, providing whatever. And Lightfoot's saying they don't have the money to pay them. So there's that. And now the officials have revealed they've had to dip into tax increment financing fees to pay the public sector employees. And they've laid off 8 village employees, save financial issues. Basically, we can't pay you. So we're going, I mean, this ain't a New York City. There's 20,000 people in this town. So it's not big, but the mayor still I'd like to know what her salary was. The board, as of this meeting the other night,
She
froze.
didn't need a salary. She had a credit card.
She had a credit card. I'd like to know what she was paying
God.
herself. And
Mm.
they the town board, that's what they call themselves, froze the credit card. And that means only the director now, which hello, where were y'all when this was happening? I think they just didn't know. And Lightfoot's saying,
Where was the monthly, whenever they have a meeting? Where was the, here's the financial, our ham radio club. We have a monthly meeting and we get the balance there. The fishing club here, they get the
Right.
balance every month about how
Right.
much money and
Right.
how much money is spent,
That's
how
what
much
you do.
money is
that's
over.
what I do for the coalition
Duh.
because I'm the treasurer for them. But I think what was happening based on things I've read, the mayor just she just ran it almost like a dictator. Like, everyone was afraid of her and she was a bully. And she just said, I'm not giving you what, and so they got afraid to add, threatening people with their jobs, that kind of thing. So now they've put it at $5,000 spending limit. I thought that already was. What a credit card do you
$40,000
have?
American
When our
Express.
work card, I've had to call, when we've had to make big, lockbox purchases and Narcan and stuff, I've had to call our bank to say, you need to increase our 1 day allotment so that we can make this purchase. 40,000? I don't even think American Express approves that. Now, I
Well,
don't know.
They do under for certain companies. And if you're paying the bills on time.
Well, apparently they weren't. They're not paying
They
them.
never paid American
I don't
Express.
know what they've done, but they said they're having trouble
Well,
paying, and it
Ameri-
gets better.
American Express will cut you off.
So
very quickly.
they had some kind of, the town owned a property, or they call themselves a village, but okay, the village owned some kind of property that they were going to
Makes an idiot.
turn it into the police station. Now they're having to potentially, they've been discussing having to put it up for sale because they don't have the money to build the police station or expand the police station or whatever, because of all this spend. I mean, this woman took trips to Vegas. She has been flying here, there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yonder. They're still, Lightfoot's asking, what did she spend $40,000
I've got
on
one
Amazon?
question to
What
ask
did
you.
she buy?
I've got one question for those idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the reporters? They should have been noticing lavish something. They should have
Mhm.
noticed if she was gone all the time. They
I-
should have noticed this. I mean,
I
inquiring
think-
minds, a real reporter will do that.
I am thinking that she was so, I mean, this woman, I've seen a video of her. She's hateful. And what I'm thinking is anybody that potentially questioned her, she acted a fool and like she's
That's
scary.
okay.
Yeah.
Be a good reporter. I
But
don't care.
Lightfoot said, no. I mean, I'm coming in. I never knew Lightfoot was a former prosecutor. I don't know. I didn't know.
don't know either.
Didn't know that. But she was a terrible mayor of Chicago. But hey,
Oh,
at least she's
yes.
thorough in conducting oh, hold up now.
I don't know who could be. a
How
good
are you
mayor of
going to be
Chicago.
how can you conduct that kind of investigation, but you can't investigate other things when you were mayor of Chicago? But
She didn't
that's
want to. 'Cause she was
that's true too. Good point, Rayford. So yeah, but wow, so the
Okay,
saga
reporters.
continues.
for you rookies, and we got a bunch of them in this neck of the woods.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows any of them, tell them to watch our Facebook page later
Mhm.
on, because I'm going to give you some advice.
Mhm.
Same thing that I used to do on a regular basis.
Mhm.
I don't know, let's just take a county government, all right?
Yeah.
A county commissioner or a city council or anybody like
Mhm.
that.
Or a village or whatever,
Whatever they
something
are,
like that.
whatever
Yeah,
they're
board.
Then periodically go
Mhm.
through after they have all the commissioners have been to an event. Let's just say they've got a big conference in
Mhm.
the National Association of County Commissioners,
Mhm.
and they all decide to go to Las Vegas.
Mhm.
If it was held down there, and if it was held in Swansboro, they
Mhm.
probably all wouldn't even show up for that. But they all go to Las Vegas.
Yeah,
It happens.
yeah.
When they all go to Las Vegas, give them time to get back and file all their expense reports, because
And
they
see
all
what's
have
on
to.
it. Yeah.
And then you just give them time, you bide your time, and then you go down when you know everything is in. You demand, you don't request anything, you demand to see all of the accounting for all of the trips, everything that these people spent on that trip. You're going to find a variance. Some commissioners are going to be doing it by the book. Some
Mhm.
commissioners are going to be eating lobster every night.
Yeah.
That's what you will find. You will find all sorts of things that happen.
Right.
So if somebody wants to have a really good story, now you've got to get it right. You got to do it right, and find some help if you can't do it yourself. If you're not mathematically inclined, find
Mhm.
somebody, and find somebody who. And when they give you, oh, here's what they spent, yada yada yada. No. I want to see the receipts.
Yeah.
I want to see the actual line item. Yeah. But I want to see every receipt that they turn in.
Because alcohol should not be, it's not supposed to use funds for. I
That's
mean,
right.
you if you want to go and have a drink when you're at a conference,
There you go. That's
you
on
pay out of pocket for that. Like, even if your meal is covered, which most of the times for travel it is up to a certain amount.
They got a per diem.
Yeah, and everybody's per diem is different, and that's fine. There's a state rate, but companies use whatever. But alcohol is not supposed to be covered.
Correct. Now, if the reporters, if you want a good story, you do that. Now, if you're covering more than one government, like city council and county commission, the school board,
Mhm.
the school board,
You made me laugh, Rayford.
I just opened that one up.
I know
didn't
you did.
Yeah,
You made me
did.
laugh.
Anyway, because you
And
know what I'm saying.
and I'm gonna
what
be
I'm
Yes,
talking
eating
about.
cookie.
I know what
Yes.
you're talking about.
But anyway, if you do something like that on a regular basis, you will become a reporter.
Yeah.
You will become a real
Well, you'll start to
reporter.
go down a rabbit hole very quickly too.
Well,
Well, I want to.
find out there's a rabbit down there.
Yeah.
Bring him home for dinner.
Well, I want to. And you just opened up
Rabbit
something I want to
stew.
say. I want to commend my husband for something, and I don't give him a lot of
You don't
kudos.
give him
More
much
than
credit.
I don't give him enough that he deserves. He deserves a lot.
Wait a minute. Do I
Um,
need to text him and tell him to
we
listen?
need to write this down.
Well, so I'm
Recently actually it was this week. There was some kind of state up in Winston-Salem, some kind of commissioners meeting for local county commissioners. And Robin chose not to go because of the expense.
Mhm.
And he said, if it was something majorly important, he would, but he said it's like a networking where they sit around and what do you do in your county? And do I mean,
Mhm.
nothing.
Shoot the breeze.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And
Shoot
he
the
said, I
bull.
wasn't going to spend, county taxpayer money to travel, the hotel, the food, all that. He's like, no. Proud
Good
of
for
him for
you.
that. Yeah, I was proud of him for that. I have
Good
to
for
say,
you.
I was proud of him.
I
And
think
then it wouldn't have, we had a storm.
Yeah,
He would have
that
been
too.
gone. I know the chairman ended up not going because of the storm,
Mhm.
but other commissioners were scheduled. And to that, and Robin also said, all the commissioners don't need to go.
let me ask
It's a
you
lot of
this one.
money.
I'm going to ask you this one. I'm going to ask, put it out for or any lame ducks at this meeting? Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, we brought this up before with the past school board. Remember all the trips that they were taking? They went to Hawaii, and all the money that was being spent for all the trips and seminars and conferences that most of them were going.
And if it was held,
Two.
But what did they learn
if,
from
if,
it?
if it was
Yeah.
held in Leland, North Carolina,
I
would
bet-
they have gone?
Right.
Right.
I bet they
right.
wouldn't have.
Well, this is the prior one to
Mhm.
the current one, but yeah, remember we discussed that a lot about the money that was set aside in the budget
Mhm.
for all their, and see, they're only required to do so much every year for credits, all that, but a lot of that, and then
They
you have
call it
board members.
teleconferencing.
Then you have board members that sign up for this.
Pay the
Don't
money.
go,
and go, yeah.
and the school's paying for it anyway, and they don't pay it back. So
See, I don't like that. But also, too, I work in a field that you have to go to conferences. You're required to,
Right.
and have grants that you have to attend certain things. But apparently, our state office of prevention person had to issue directives
That is for maintaining certification.
that, and with certain grants, you were required to
Yes.
attend. I go to DC every February,
All
not by
nine-
choice, but
all
because that
7
grant
county
requires me.
commissioners
Yeah.
and all 7 school board members and all 7 city councilmen do not have to go to every one of these
No.
events at the same time.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
That's what
Yeah.
Robin said. It's a waste of money.
Just
but-
send the mayor and then let the mayor come back and give a report.
Well, what was happening in my field with colleagues, I have a feeling I know who one of them was, but nobody around here it's a group of us that cover New Hanover, Pender, Brunswick. We know, we've done this. Most of us have worked together over 20 years, so we know people were taking trips overseas to conferences. So the state,
Wow.
the
See,
state
that's
Did
what
they
I'm
go
that
to
were,
saying.
someplace like Zimbabwe? By
well,
any
no, it
chance?
was like, England or
Uh-huh.
France or wherever. One of them went to Sweden. So the state
Did that
came
person
back and
like to
said,
ski?
with our new grant parameters, the state came back and said you can't do the grant covers, you can't do international travel. I mean, if you want to go to that conference, you have to pay out of pocket, but
Yeah.
you can't use grant funds because it was being misused. Like, why? Because all I could think of was these people are going to, let's say it was in France. I bet they didn't attend one, day of class.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
And then they just took their whole family
You know
and
what?
everything else.
We had for the group that I work for.
Yeah.
We had 45 TV stations,
Mhm.
right? We
Right.
would have to go. The news directors
Correct.
had to go. We
Yeah.
had to an annual event.
Hmm.
They locked us in the same room,
Yeah.
same hotel.
Yeah.
They locked us in and they took a roll call.
Yeah. Same. We have to check in. Yeah.
We had every day.
That some of the,
Yeah.
you have to
They-
check out. Like they have a
if
guy with a little scanner thing. You have to
Well,
scan your badge to leave.
It was worse than that because
Mhm.
we had to be at the same luncheons
Mhm.
together.
Yeah.
Because they arranged for everything.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go anywhere, you would we quit at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You do what you want to do then.
Hmm.
Don't use your credit card.
Yeah.
Don't put it on your expense account because you're not
Credit
going to get
card.
paid for it.
See,
Yeah.
ours, you can do your meals. You can't do any alcohol or anything
Mhm.
like that. But
Right.
But lately, all the conferences I've got, a lot of them, the first day there'll be a luncheon, and sometimes the last one because they do giveaways and all that crap. But usually, lunch is on your own.
Yeah.
They give you, which is so ridiculous because they give you a very small window of time when you got 1,000 people at this. You get an hour full. What? The hotel restaurant is going to be inundated.
Right.
So I just DoorDash my food. But
Well, yeah,
Sure,
you
yeah.
can DoorDash everything.
I love
But
DoorDash.
do you
yeah.
do you submit the charges for the DoorDash?
yes, we have to. Yeah. But,
But like for mine for lunch in Memphis, I
Mhm.
found a little place on the corner
mhm.
for lunch. They served gator gumbo. I could dash right there on my own DoorDash.
Mhm.
I could dash from that door to their door, and I eat my lunch, and I'm back in time.
Yeah.
And I had a bowl of
You know,
soup.
Yeah.
when I traveled, I got per diem per day,
Mm.
and the per diem was great.
Yeah, our
But
per
I
diem was
always
good.
picked a hotel that I was allowed to under the government expense. And in the morning, I would go down and I would eat the continental breakfast. And then I would come back late in the afternoon, and they always had some kind of event going on with free food.
Yeah,
So I really didn't have to spend any of
a
that
lot
per
of
diem.
vendors do things like that.
Yes.
They
That
don't.
was-
The ones I go
I
to
even-
now, but the federal government has really cracked down on grants on food spending and giveaways.
Sure.
Right.
Like, back in the day, let's say National Night Out, I'm using that as an example. You could get like stress balls and pens, and people used to give the bags. Give you a bag, you can,
Sure.
print a bag with your company logo. You can't buy it. Has to. You can't buy that stuff now. You have to. If you're going to buy quote a giveaway, you have to get permission from the state office of prevention, and you have to tie it back directly to one of your like targets in your goals that you're required. It's because people were abusing it,
Hmm.
and that's ultimately
understand
it's
that.
taxpayer money.
But what I was talking about, if we had a group of 45 news directors,
Yeah.
and we had a conference, there
Yeah.
were vendors that were set up outside wanting to sell us. Panasonic wanted to sell TV cameras, and
Mhm.
I had all these people, and each one of them would generally sponsor like a luncheon or
Oh
sponsor,
yeah, well they do that sometimes. Yeah.
cocktail hours or
Yeah.
whatever. They would do that, but that's on the vendors as a private enterprise.
This one you could do
Yeah.
vendors, and all the ones I go to is where I get. That's where I get my pens for the office. Like seriously, I
Tell
mean,
everybody.
Oh, yes.
but
we all did that.
but they give you you got one group that always has the best stuff, and they usually have cool bags or whatever. And these are like pharmaceutical companies or people that are they had doTERRA there giving away. I have so much doTERRA. I'm gonna start giving away to the public actually, and that's just to dissolve your pills when you've had unused medication, so no one can take it or whatever.
Hmm.
I'm about to start giving it away. I'm thinking I'm gonna bring
to
some of that.
use, do what to your
So if you have medicine in your medicine cabinet that you don't take
wanna get rid
anymore
of?
and you want to get rid of, you're not supposed to flush it.
put it
this-
in Clorox.
But this will neutralize it. And I've got so much of it. I think I'm going to bring some to National Night Out. But anyway, so they would give us these bags, and you go get stress balls and pens and pamphlets. It's like shopping, and you
Yes.
make your way around the whole exhibit hall.
Okay, now guys, now you understand
Yeah.
how the system works. Let's take
Yeah.
a break. You're live and
I
local,
need a
Real
break.
Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We're standing by right here. We've got two folks over here. One's on Facebook, one's on email, leecbarrows@gmail.com, or our Facebook Messenger. They'll check your messages. Just put down there your name and your telephone number and expect a call. You're live and local, Real Talk. We'll be right back with weather. Okay, we're back live and local Real Talk, and we do appreciate y'all weathering with us, shall we say?
Oh, my
We've been
Lord.
weathering all week
You
long,
better
haven't
stop.
we? What? Well,
So-
we did. We got through another storm, Debbie. Debbie, be
Oh.
gone. Goodbye, Debbie. Hopefully, it didn't stress you out too much, and hopefully, we'll all get back to some degree of normalcy. This was just a walk in the park in reality.
Right.
When you look back
This
on
was
it,
a warm up.
if you yeah, thanks a lot. If you look back at our history, we know that things can get worse. Things have been worse, and things will likely be worse again at some point in time. But we're prepared for it.
Mhm.
That's what we do here. We get ourselves ready, psyched up to deal with it. If this was your first event, let me warn you, real quick, like. If you're probably not feeling any stress right now, you probably, as a newbie here, you were probably stressed out a little bit leading up to this, right? A lot of people do. However,
Mhm.
came, it went, not a big bunch of problems for most people here. Don't become complacent.
No, do not
There-
think this
there-
is how they
there-
always are.
There is another one out there.
And a potential for a two.
Well, yeah, we
One,
got
two.
there. We'll talk about those later on next week, perhaps when things either develop or they fade away. So we'll
Raven, why is there a number one over there?
I think it's the cursor.
No,
Kelly.
it's not.
Is it?
I don't
Curse is
know.
over
I
there.
can't see that far away. I got a flag and a.
I
There's a
can't get
one.
chairs in the way.
Okay, at the break, I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, there are things. Some people, when you get older, and like me, maybe some of you live alone. You've lost your spouse or
Correct.
whatever. There
Yeah.
are a lot of ladies that, oh my God, he's done all of this for me in the past. Now
Mhm.
what do I do?
hmm
And some people, I've known some who would not leave their homes for anything.
Right.
Some of them didn't want to leave their homes because the sun was shining. Just that, I mean, they had reasons.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine the stress of sitting there and not having a son, a daughter, relative,
Yeah. No.
spouse
I have a
parents,
few
or
clients
anybody
like
else.
that. Yeah.
in the whole state
hmm
or no place to go.
Some people don't have people.
Some people
It's very
do
sad.
not have people.
Yeah. It's just
And
heartbreaking.
I don't know how you deal with that kind of a stressful situation.
It's, I mean, you have to try to, help the best you can and find people for them.
Yeah, especially when you've lived your entire life.
Yeah.
You're now in your golden years, like some people call it.
Yeah.
Losing somebody and not having anybody to
Yeah.
help you during stressful times, I don't know how you deal with it. What do you tell people like that?
It just case by case basis, depending on the person, because everybody's different. What I
Some are
need
a
to
lot
tell them.
stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of people who have lived a bunch of their lives by
Mhm.
themselves. My wife, she never got married until we got married in
Yeah.
what, 18, almost
She
18
was
You about to
waiting
mess this
for
up,
the
Rafer.
right
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
almost 18 years ago.
See,
Yeah.
she was waiting for the right person.
Yeah, right. Well,
Oh, yeah.
She settled on Rafer, but it's
yeah,
all
but
good.
I
like,
came along anyway.
yeah,
So whatever.
yeah.
But anyway, some people they're good.
Yeah.
She could cope with pretty much anything. She
Yeah.
has over the
Yeah.
years. But there are other people.
Other people, some people can't, and some,
They don't know what to do.
yeah.
They've had
Some,
everything
especially if they
done
were
for them.
married and had done. My mom's a prime example of that. But yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
But there's a place, your team, y'all
Mhm.
deal with folks like this.
We do.
So
Mhm.
if you are feeling like that, you don't have to wait for a storm.
no,
It can be other situations.
but a storm can trigger it.
A storm can trigger it.
And for those that went through Florence, what we found this
Oh,
past
my, you're
week,
probably still recovering.
we're dealing with some people, and especially kids, and I think kids are often overlooked. Florence did a number on a lot of people, and
Yeah.
and so when this storm started first being talked about,
Oh.
it triggered people, and it triggered a lot of kids, but it triggered a lot of adults too that had damage or
Yeah.
lost their homes or whatever. So keep that in mind.
I-
Check on your neighbors too that
Yes,
have
that's
had
the
damage.
other thing. And when you've got neighbors that are new to the area, if a storm comes along,
Mhm.
please just volunteer. Say, hey, guys, is there anything you need? You need me to help you with anything?
Yeah, here's what you need to do.
If you've got elderly neighbors,
Mhm. Definitely check on them. Yes.
and yeah,
Mhm.
that's one of
I
the first
agree.
things that I did.
Yeah.
I had a chat in
Mhm.
advance. I
Mhm.
said, whatever you need, we had to, while I was walking with a couple of dogs the other
Mhm.
day, we
Yeah.
had that same chat. So
Yeah.
do that.
Do it.
Do it as a
It's
a
being
good
neighborly.
neighbor.
Yeah. But it's also being a good human.
Yeah,
I'm all about people being good humans.
Yeah, and that's what y'all have to deal with.
Yeah.
Community prevention services. See, that's the kind of advice you can get, the kind of work you can get from the folks who work there. They will help you. They will help the people that you love. Maybe they don't want to listen to you because you're a young whippersnapper. So you can send them in the right direction.
Well, see, we can be objective.
Yeah. You don't have a personal stake in it.
Mm-mm.
They will work with you. Give them a call. Set up an appointment. 910-353-0972. 910-353-0972. Offshore today, Debbie's gone. Her impact still hounding us and is going to do that for a while. The
Bye,
waters
Debbie.
have been high up
Yes.
and way up there in the creeks,
Mhm.
and they're going to be coming
And they're
down.
gonna
They are
come
coming
down.
down.
Yeah. Yeah.
The docks down at one of the marinas downtown, the marina downtown,
Mhm.
overflowed.
Was it floating?
Well,
Yeah.
the docks was underwater.
Okay, nice.
But that's the reason my boat is on high ground,
Mhm.
because we knew that was going to happen. That was not a doubt in my mind and not in their mind either. So we pulled it out.
And doesn't the water
Safekeeping.
take a few days sometimes
It does.
after the effect for, like, if it's flowing down,
Uh-huh.
let's say from
Yeah,
5
that's right,
counties
we have-
away, it's not going to happen immediately, right?
It can happen a week or 2 weeks
Okay.
later.
Right,
That's what I
right. They've
thought.
got one right now in Chinquapin that they're really concerned about.
Yeah. And that White Stocking Road over in Pender County near Burgaw has had problems for decades. I don't know whether they ever got it corrected or not. Because it flooded every year, not just during hurricanes, but a threat of a hurricane, it flooded for some reason.
Yeah, let's just say that they were showing a flood map on the TV last night.
Covered
And
all
there was a
North
lot of
Carolina.
green boxes all over the
Yeah.
all over the state.
Small craft advisory today, set effect through Saturday morning. Hellos, winds out of the south today, 20 to 25 knots, seas 15 to 20, gust up to 30 knots. 30 knots. That's about 38 mile per hour winds. Seas 7 to 9 feet. Don't get in a hurry to get out there. Sounds and rivers are going to be rough today, diminishing to choppy this afternoon. And even when you get out there, you're going to find a lot of floating debris. Some of that floating debris is going to be about 2 inches below the surface that you won't see until you hit it. Slow your butts down.
Yeah.
Get a lookout. Put it on the bow of the boat and be very careful about where you go. All right?
I
Don't
agree
rush
with
it.
that. Yeah.
Wait a few days, you'll be better off. Southwesterly winds tomorrow, 10 to 15, seas 3 to 5, sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Sunday, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, seas 2 to 3, sounds and rivers a light chop.
Today, showers and thunderstorms are possible after 1 p.m. Some of the storms could produce heavy rainfall. Mostly cloudy otherwise in between all that with high of 85.
The voice of
14 mile
gloom
an
and
hour
doom.
winds. I know, right? With gusts as high as 21 miles an hour. So during the day today, we're expected up to an inch of rain.
So I have to write this down
Yeah.
after one. Go ahead.
After 1 p.m. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely, mainly before 1 a.m.
Oh,
See, I love it where they
before?
put these times in here. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, a low of 75, and up to additional 3/4 to an inch tonight. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high of 87. Showers and thunderstorms, 50% chance. Winds only 3 to 6 mile an hour, with an additional up to 3/4 of an inch for tomorrow. Tomorrow night, showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 2 a.m. I love this.
Saturday night. After
Mostly
2.
cloudy, low of
You
75.
can
Yeah,
go
right.
to sleep then. Don't worry about it.
But then Sunday, we have 70%. So it looks like Sunday we're going to get more rain. Showers and thunderstorms with a high of 87 and up to an additional half an inch on Sunday.
You know the difference
Oh,
between
Sunday night too.
the
Okay.
difference between Kelly and me. I give you some hope for the future.
I
The
just-
fishing's going to be better. The waters are going to calm down. It's going to be a lot
Mhm.
nicer. She comes along and
With time- I
screws
can't
that
even
up.
give
And then,
time.
and
Like,
then when I
yeah.
do mine, I take out all that after before, and I just say it's going to rain.
Yeah.
Some
and,
point during the
according
day.
to this, it looks
Yes.
We're going to find a Chamber of Commerce weather report.
Let's
Oh,
go
yeah.
You know what I've decided after since Debbie came through here, I've got my thing now for men who cook. I know what I'm going to do.
do you?
I'm going to do a Debbie soup.
Debbie C.
No, you're
Debbie soup.
not.
I don't know it may probably be watered down. Good
Get a
morning.
box.
Oh my Lord.
Get a
Good
box of
morning,
little
good morning,
Debbie.
Royce.
Y'all
How
make
are
him
you?
stop. Royce, don't laugh at him. Please don't laugh at him
So,
because it
Royce.
encourages him.
You're in Winston-Salem.
I am.
How
I'm
is
at
the
the
weather?
North Carolina Association of County Commissioners, and I just got a few more minutes now before I got to go into the seminar about decriminalizing mental health, mental illness.
Wow.
That'll be a good one.
is
Royce.
There's a lot of good stuff going on here. I heard you talking about how we're spending your money. I have you
but
know that I'm the only county
Yep.
commissioner in
Royce is-
Thank
Winston-Salem.
you.
Yep.
And
He's representing us.
that I've already identified 2 grant sources that can help us with housing and food.
Yay.
Had seminars yesterday on artificial intelligence and how we might need to respond to that, on
How to
substance
respond to it.
abuse and medical assisted treatment, on drones as first responders. Very interesting how some people are using drones in North Carolina to help with EMS, fire service, and sheriff's deputies. The sheriff here has a real-time intelligence center where they have, like, I think he said over 20,000 video feeds coming in from all over the county,
Wow.
where they're able to monitor stuff that's going on in Forsyth County. And yep, we got a full day of seminars today. One of them is on fire service planning, which we desperately need in Onslow County. And
Yeah.
I won't go on anymore, but we'll have a full day here. I think we'll make sure that the county taxpayers get their money's worth. A lot of issues in Onslow County that we have to deal with, and you get a lot of good ideas coming to something like this, hearing how other counties are dealing with the same kind of issues that we have. So,
Now, my instructions to you are take copious notes, and then we'll schedule you in here as soon as you get back.
Yeah.
How's that?
yep. Love to come in and talk about some of this stuff for sure.
Yeah,
Royce,
please.
Royce is
Because that's
representing us. He's doing a good job.
That's what these meetings are all about.
Yeah.
You send
Person
who knows about it anyway,
Right, yeah.
who's involved in it, who has experience with it. You send one person there and get all the
And
information.
who will go to the classes and
Yeah.
not just do whatever. Yes.
Well, isn't Royce on every single committee in the county?
Pretty much.
Commission,
Well,
committee,
He's on a
board?
lot.
I got.
One that
All right,
know
y'all.
somebody
I got
that's
to
on-
run. I
Bye,
got to
Royce.
get
Have a great
downstairs
day.
to the next meeting.
All right. You listen.
Y'all have a good day.
See you
You
next
too.
week. Take care. Be safe.
And I want to bring up something. Royce triggered something that I will say to the public. If you need a medicine lockbox to lock your meds up, if you're worried about someone coming in your house and taking medicine out of your medicine cabinet or whatever, I have some that I can give away. I don't have a lot, but I do have some I can give away.
Okay. If you legitimately have a concern about
Yeah.
that, and I
If you've
know
got
some of
medications that you need a
do,
lockbox for.
especially if you you may a grandmother or
Yeah.
whatever, and you may have other
And you
people
worry about
coming in,
people,
not your own kids necessarily, but they always bring visitors.
They bring their friends or whatever. Yeah. Even
That
adult
happened to my
kids,
stepmom.
grandkids.
So
Yeah, contact me. You can either call the office. Probably be better to message us, or well, like today we're going to be moving boxes, so I don't know if we'll hear
send
the
Kelly
phone.
a message.
Send
You
me a
can
message on our show.
get
Our,
it on the show
yeah,
page.
our show page or our yeah.
a private message.
Yeah.
One of those things. Okay.
yeah. Send us a message and I'll get you a lockbox.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We're here to help you. You're live on local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME. You know, Royce was on the phone at this conference, and they're talking about they have to deal with artificial intelligence. They're going to be discussing that a lot, right?
Right.
Artificial. In the dictionary, artificial, by every other definition, is fake.
Right.
It ain't real. It's fake intelligence, right? That's my definition anyway. I of all that sort of good stuff. Something else I'm not a big fan of. We've gone over
Yes.
again, and we're pretty much getting in over our heads. DEIs.
Oh,
Kelly, what's a DEI?
Diversion or diversity. Was it diversity,
Equity,
equity, and inclusion?
inclusion.
Yeah.
Over the past few years, one major airlines, Delta,
It's the one I fly.
has embraced the diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda under the purview of a chief officer who now believes that the phrase, you know, when you go up there and you're standing and you're waiting for them to open the gate to say, come on down, y'all.
yes.
Mhm.
What do they say?
Usually they say, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. He doesn't like that. He doesn't want that done anymore. They're going to have to stop saying ladies and gentlemen. There are no more ladies and no more gentlemen going to be flying Delta Airlines. So therefore, you're going to be a bunch of what?
I don't know. Do tell us. What are we going to be now?
She doesn't say. I read that article. I don't know.
Flyers, all
Come on,
passengers.
come on, group. I mean, I don't know. What are you going to call people?
Hey, y'all, bring it on.
Now,
Don't know.
now you're being too southern.
Yeah.
There's
You're
nothing
gonna
wrong with
offend our-
that.
Well, they complain
gonna
about
offend
Southerners
about-
too. So
Well, then
don't
they
do
can
that.
just don't
Yeah.
come down here then. Leave us
Yeah.
alone.
I
So
don't
what
know.
do you
Do you say everyone it's time to board? I mean, what?
Come on,
I don't.
let's go.
Let's go. Get on. Line up.
get your
Yeah.
Get your butts
Grab
in
your
here now.
mess, and I use a different word. And let's go. Yeah. I don't know.
If
What
you're
do you
not here
say?
when I close the gate, you're gonna be waiting
Yeah.
for the next airplane.
I don't know what
I don't know
would you say? Because here's what I said to you. Even if you identify as a male, then you're going to fall under the gentleman category.
Sure.
If you're a
Whether
guy
you
who
are or
identifies
wouldn't
not.
as
that
a
make you
female,
proud?
And I'm
Yeah,
going to give you an
Rachel.
example of that.
yeah,
I
like
asked you during the break. Kamala Harris is our vice president.
correct. Yeah.
She's got an old man, a husband.
Yes.
And his title is officially,
First gentleman.
so even though it's a misnomer in his case, we all know that. Gentleman.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I'm
But
trying to figure out what you
anyway-
meant by that. Okay.
But anyway, he is officially the first gentleman.
the
So
first-
are we going to change federal law so that Delta can go through with this? What are we going to call him?
Well,
What are
isn't
we going to call the first lady?
right because isn't Jill Biden called the first lady? Yeah.
Jill is the first lady.
Yeah.
All the wife of each president
Yeah.
is known as the first lady.
Yeah. So what? I don't know.
Come on, Piper. This is a federal
It's-
thing now. It's not just a Delta Airlines thing for some.
Well, this is why a lot
Little
of
twit
people are
woman to
moving
change
away
it.
from DEI because it's just so dumb.
We are going to be nothing but neutrons. We're going to be neutral.
What are they gonna
We're
call-
not- Y'all think me being an independent person was something?
Maybe
Wait till we are nothings.
So what do you identify as? What do you rate for identify as?
I just whenever you call me, you could call me anything you want. Call me 3 times a
I'll
day.
answer
Breakfast, lunch, and
anything.
dinner.
Yeah.
And you, Kelly, pretty much anything?
anything. And I don't, and I have to do a lot of webinars and stuff. And I noticed a lot of people this bugs me, their pronouns. They want to be called under their name. I type my name. I don't put pronouns. You
Yep.
will not find a pronoun anywhere on there.
Well,
let me tell
I
you how little I
won't-
care. I'll answer to anything.
I want to be identified as a trans financial. I'm a rich girl living in a poor girl's
Oh my
body.
Lord.
You're live in local Real
Oh,
Talk
my
Freedom
Lord.
97.1, 11:20 a.m. WSME. I like my Debbie soup even better than that. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Now we're discussing some heavy duty stuff here during the
That's
commercial
right. It's a
break again.
secret.
No, it's not a secret. We
It's a secret.
This men who cook, are they going to be able to call it that anymore?
Apparently not. They got
I-
women.
yeah,
in it.
wait a
That's
minute.
I don't like that. So
Well, it's fine. The men who cook get
the
the attention.
people who cook, then
That's kind of men who cook will get more
Mhm.
attention because not, there are a lot of men who do cook. We know
Mhm.
that, right?
my dad was a
Yeah.
good cook.
And but not they don't get the recognition too often.
I'll take one
But
with a
here's
boat.
what we got to do. We've got to, the three of us and my wife, so we'll be four
That's
of
right.
us in this event, 4 of us. And it's judged in 2 ways. So we've got to have a name and we'll come up with a theme. I think if I can get the product that I'm looking for, no, druggies, not that kind of product. If I can get the product that
Oh.
I'm looking for, no brownies this time.
Well, let
If I
postal
can get,
inspector
if
know.
I can get the product that I'm looking for the base of this, the primary part of this culinary product, then I will, I'll let you know. But we need a name for this team.
Yes, we do.
So we're kind of trying, we're sitting around here coming up with a name. So y'all send us messages. You can do this publicly in the comment section of Facebook if you want to over the weekend. What should we call ourselves?
I'll have to
Keep it-
post it.
Keep it as clean as you can because I came up with some already and none of them were good. None of them were good.
Yeah, we had a few
Everybody
thoughts.
would be offended.
Yeah.
Except me. I don't get offended too easily. But we do need a name for the 4 of us.
Yes, we do.
So y'all help us. How's that?
Yes, yes. I had to put something on the
And then
Facebook this weekend.
what are the things that they're being judged on? 2 events, 2 parts to this judging.
I'm not singing, but go
Well,
ahead.
there's one of them is how entertaining are you, or how personality based.
Let's just tell
the
jokes.
folks.
We'll tell
No, we're not
jokes.
telling you.
I'll
We'll
bring a
tell
PA
jokes.
system.
No.
I'll bring a bigger PA system. Yeah, I mean, I got a huge couple of big speakers that
Mhm.
make lots of noise.
I do too.
These are lots of noise.
I could do magic.
Somebody's calling us, but we can't answer.
Can't answer
I
it.
could do magic.
hear
I can
you
just
calling, but
magically
you can't
disappear.
come in.
Yeah, we can do that too. Anyway, so we need a name, and then we'll talk to you about what we're going to be cooking later on and all that sort of good stuff. But we got to have a name that sort of represents us.
Yes.
Motor Mouths. I didn't say that. Big Mouths. I
No.
didn't say that.
I don't know, but we need to think.
All right. We need to
Serious
think-
about
we-
it.
We need. We're soliciting and eliciting assistance from y'all.
That's
so help
right.
us out here. Coming up next week, we got coming up. Do we have anybody scheduled as yet?
Yes, we do.
Possibility,
We're gonna have
yes.
Royce.
Yes.
Probably.
But we
Right.
also have the guy coming in, next Thursday for that event.
You'll
from-
think about it between now and then, won't you?
Lee, you put it on the calendar. 'Cause
Yeah.
We had a whole conversation
Not on
about
my
this.
calendar.
Yeah.
Is that the one that
Yes.
you? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to get
Keep
the
it a
book out.
secret. Don't tell anybody.
We have somebody coming in. Yeah.
Well,
We're
I
also
did
going to
good.
reach out to because
Mhm.
we had Meredith Kroom on
Yes.
last month.
We
Mhm.
will
Talk
talk to
about-
her.
The heat and the drought in that situation. Now we're going to talk about how to bail out.
My
the plant.
veggies are ruined.
Oh, mine are destroyed. The rain killed my garden. It's
Yeah, well, we
messy.
want to see if there's anything else we can do to salvage stuff. But from Grants Creek Nursery, we're trying to reach her. Hopefully, she'll be open today, and we'll try to get her on the schedule
Yes,
next week.
yes.
She does a great job.
She
And,
does.
she's,
She does.
She's a wealth of
Yes.
information. Now, right after a Fox News break, which is coming up right after we shut up, we're gonna
Sports
have
Talk with Chris
Sports Talk.
Rayner.
We got more
And
people
today-
running their mouths.
His special guest is Swansboro varsity football coach Rodney Beasley and JV coach James Spears. And they will
And-
also have Brian North, your
Yes,
sports
from
mogul from
WCTI.
WCTI TV 12,
Yeah.
will be calling into the show. So that's Sports Talk right after us.
Brian's been around quite a while in the sports arena.
Yes,
in
he
Eastern
has.
North Carolina. So he's
And
a
I found
fixture
my
here.
hat. So,
The hat that he signed.
yes, I finally found it.
What'd you do with it?
It was hanging up where I left it. I don't know how yeah. It'll all be
Lord
good.
have mercy.
Get the bathrooms fixed
All right.
today.
We do appreciate y'all, and I'm glad we all weathered whatever was happening
Yes.
out here. It wasn't too critical. Some areas got a lot more rain than I got right here. We got about 2.5 inches at the studio, and a lot of Jacksonville got pretty much that. But there were some isolated areas of Onslow County, 3-4 inches. So there were.
Yes.
Well, my daughter's rain gauge.
It was hot and heavy here, there, and everywhere. So,
Yeah.
and
You hit
now
that
we've been
door
joined by
hard.
King Jake,
Mhm.
and he's the
He's
cleanup.
eating his food.
He's the cleanup king, right?
He's eating all of it. Shocky hadn't eaten any of
Yeah,
it.
well, better grab that.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week. And like I say,
Have a good weekend. And
after Fox News
Sports Talk with Chris
Sports Talk.
Rayner.
and after Sports Talk,
Rick Dees.
I'm just checking to see if y'all are paying attention.
We always pay
Another
attention.
dose of the Daily D's with Rick, and at 3:00 this afternoon, it's gonna be
Our
Chris,
own Hollywood.
Hollywood man in the house.
Chris
Have a-
Hollywood man.
Have a great weekend. Stay safe and
Be safe in the rain, guys.
and stay off of the ocean and the rivers for the time being. We'll see you next week.